Words poured from Mrs. Layton. "I couldn't find him. He wasn't here to open the curtains, and everyone was waiting, so I went ahead, and that's when I saw." She waved weakly toward the back rooms, trembling. "Oh, Lordy, what'll we do?" Miss Judson swept the shopkeeper into a firm embrace. "We'll catch our breath, Mrs. Layton, and send for the authorities. Myrtle, will you phone Dr. Belden?" I nodded dumbly, but I was staring at Mr. Layton with the cold, pooling conviction that the person we really needed was Dr. Manjal, the police surgeon. I summoned the police too. They were right across the street after all. Constable Carstairs showed up first, unfortunately, instead of Inspector Hardy of the Detective Bureau, who knows my work. I suppose that made sense. We didn't need a detective for an ordinary death. Miss Judson put me in charge of poor Mrs. Layton so she could impose order on the crowd outside, which gave me very little time to examine the scene. Of course, it was possible that I jumped the gun, so to speak, and Mr. Layton had simply passed away while having his evening tea. But something about his posture, upright in the chair, cup in hand, made alarm bells clang in my head. A cracker barrel sat at his side, and it looked like he'd been jotting a note, perhaps to Mrs. Layton. "What's this?" Constable Carstairs peered in closer, prizing the missive from Mr. Layton's hand. "It's gibberish. Must have been having a stroke or summat." He waved the scrap of paper in the air, and I caught a glimpse of it. "No, it's Greek," I said, which roused Mrs. Layton. "Greek?" she sniffed tearfully. "But he hasn't done that in years, not since he retired." "Eh?" "He was a professor at the college." She flicked an absent hand toward the display in the window. "May I see that?" I asked politely, as if it were a perfectly normal request. "I read Greek." "Course you do,"